On today's try to finish something, hey look, I'm wearing a different shirt. You notice the background is a little different. I've been trying to do some cleanup around here, and I'll get to that in just a second. But I've also been talking about my Patreon members, that I am really thankful for each and every one of them. But Patreon is something that I've been mentioning. I'm a little uncomfortable with asking people to become a Patreon member because it's weird that I'm asking you to give something to me and commit to doing something every single month. But maybe you don't like this video and you like the next one and you want to support that video. And I've been watching a channel called Bill Making Stuff, and he's an amazing kit basher, and he takes common household items and sometimes builds Star Wars stuff, but most of the time it's robots and creatures and cool stuff, and I've been learning a lot watching his channel, and he has an Amazon wish list. And if you're watching a video and on a whim decide, I'm gonna help him out and buy some super glue, you can just go to his wish list, you can buy it and send it to him. And it's all just done through the Amazon wish list. And I think I like that idea. And I might try and set something like that up so that you know that what you're giving is buying an item that you want to participate in. So I might set something like that up, not this video, but in the next coming weeks. So I am cleaning in here, and I have been cleaning in my build room, and you know it's a disaster. So on today's try to finish something, I am going to get to another part of my custom Mandalorian Raven build that I'm doing for a client. Yeah, I'm building something for a client. It's just because I got a lot of free time and no job. But I am building something for a client, and she's amazing, and I'm really hoping to over-deliver with this helmet. But I've been getting a lot of people asking how the disaster in that build room is going. So before I get to work on today's build, I'm going to show you how that build room is looking. And that's what I'm going to do on today's try to finish something. Alright, it's time to show you some progress, and I need to switch the camera around. So here we go. Still a mess on the floor, but it's less. Done some rearranging. That's clean, but that part's usually at least clean-ish. And over here on the side, I've put in some shelves, and I'm starting to organize my pieces. So it's getting somewhere. All right. But it's time to use this space here and get to work. So here I am on the only clean spot in my build room, being a bigwig with my custom client helmet that I'm working on. And check this out. My right camera, now overhead and front facing. I can show you all kinds of angles now. So this helmet is going to be the Raven Queen. And like I mentioned in the beginning, she's a warrior who has a hand-painted raven done on the front and the back, and the brush strokes are seen like Wrecker from the Bad Batch. I need to make sure that those strokes are visible, but first, the raven outline. I just need to sketch out the raven like the drawing that Malia sent me, and I'm going to try and draw it with a pencil. Crap. The pencil doesn't show at all. I'm going to try one of my kids' colored pencils. Nope, that doesn't work either, and I'm not sure why I thought it would. I've never drawn or painted a raven. I guess I'm just going to go in full force. No going back. Sharpie marker. What have I got to lose? It's not my helmet. I'm kidding, of course. The pressure of doing someone else's cosplay is actually much harder than I thought it would be. Malia did a great job with these sketches, but I have this pressure. I feel I want to over-deliver and do more than she expects and blow her away with the final product. And I'm just trying to sketch out as little as possible so that I can cover it with paint. And I think my plan is going to be to just use a basic craft paint. I figure it will take multiple coats to cover and will give me that hand-painted final look.
So here's my plan. I'm going to center the Raven with the head turned to the right and have the wings flare up. And I'm trying to stretch them far enough to the side so that they kind of line up with the black cheeks below, so that it gives the illusion of full widespread wings on the top and the bottom. I know, I'm putting way too much thought into this, but I guess somehow that's kind of my thing, and I doubt anyone will ever even notice. I have a gray, a white, and a black cheapo craft paint. I'm going to grab a plate, and it's time to see if we can ruin this thing. You know, it's funny, my wife, who is way smarter than me, always says ruin, and I say ruin. It is ruin, isn't it? I don't know. Now I've just gone and ruined this video. Anyway, I know that Malia's version is just a black outline, like a shadow, and I'm going to take a bit of a chance and do a full Raven paint job. And I guess we'll have to just see how this turns out. I'm going for a base layer of black first, just to try and get coverage everywhere. All right, I'm going to add some white in to start on the eye and start with some grays on the beak. Now, I'm going to start with some basic shading. So to make sure that I get a lot of brush strokes, I'm just barely getting the brush wet with paint. I'm basically just dry brushing over and over so that the underlayer shows through. This kind of gives me shading and gives me the strokes that I want. Time to add some definition to the eyes. I also want to make more definition and layers to the feathers. All right, it's the moment of truth. It's time to take a picture and send it off to Malia. And this could go really bad. It's either going to be a, hey, that's great, I love that you actually painted a raven on it. Or it's going to be, what happened? It was supposed to just be a silhouette. What are you doing? And if it's the second one, I will be painting over all of this. And that's okay, because this is not my helmet, it's hers. And if she's not happy with it, I can change it. It's just paint. All right, I think she said she likes it. I'm just gonna move forward. I took the purple of the stripe and I sprayed some onto a paper plate. I need to make some chips in the painting of the raven where you can see the purple stripe below. And I'm going to spray some of the gray on a paper plate and do the same. My plan is to just have some of the black painting chipped off and worn so that it doesn't look like it was just freshly painted. Also, in her sketch, she has 3 claw marks across the eye. I'm going to just paint those in with that same gray helmet color with a brush, and I will paint in some of the shiny metal showing through after the claw marks are in place. So I'm going to try and use this chrome paint pen and see if I can get some on the brush and get that to look like it's the bare metal showing through below. I'm really not liking this pen, and the way that I'm doing this is really not working. I have another idea. I had ordered this mirror paint from a company called Culture Hustle. This box is huge. I thought it was just a little tiny bottle of paint. No. Actually, it is. Inside this giant box is a small box, and wow, this is really well packaged. It even has a rubber seal to prevent it from leaking. Oh, wow. This stuff is amazing. Look at that. It's really shiny. Look at it when it catches the light. Wow, I love this stuff. Culture Hustle is a group of artists that make their own paints, and this stuff is amazing. And I bought this. This is not sponsored or anything, but this Culture Hustle mirror chrome is amazing. All right, I'm going to add some of this in a few other places too. Okay, now the back. I need the back of a smaller crow painted back here facing forward, and I now can't say that I've never painted a crow before. I'm an old pro. I have one under my belt, but this one is facing the other direction. It's the same process. I'm going to overcommit with a Sharpie, sketch it in, and paint it. Do crows have shoulders, or is it just wings? I need shoulders or wings or whatever to come all the way across with a highlight so that it looks like the head is kind of hunched forward. All right, now the last part of the detail on the top is Malia wants Raven Queen in Arabesh on the right side, like it was hand-painted a long time ago and worn and chipped with age. And I want it to look like it's been maybe touched up a few times too, so I'm going to add a few different shades of purple hues to make it look like that. See, I was trying to stencil on the letters, but there's the ridge and the curve of the helmet. I'm just going to wing it. Okay, I think most of the detail is done for the top, so I think I'm just going to add a little bit of weathering to try and see if I can tie this all in and see how it looks together. Just headed back to my standard brown and black water-based oils and a really beat-up brush. And I'm wiping that off with a paper towel. All right, time to obsess over a few little chips and details. Now I'm just going to add a few slight drips of paint to, again, sell that hand-painted look. I think I'm going to have to call this phase of the helmet done. I've got the ears and the rangefinder and all kinds of stuff to add to this custom helmet too, because I want to make this whole recirculating breathing system that is going to have to be all done out of greeblies, and it's going to be a full custom build using scraps and things that I have around here, and I just don't know if anyone has any interest in watching that. If you do, let me know. If not, I can do that all off camera and move on to other things. But I am calling part 2 of the custom Raven Queen Mandalorian with 2 custom painted ravens finished. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and tell a friend. And if you didn't, as always, just keep it to yourself, and we'll see you next time as we try to finish something.